didn't know any of this stuff about Tyler Perry. I watched this show and the other night, and I thought, what a neat guy! What a powerful story he's got. An American original. Gosh, I mean, I just want you to know, I'm just fanning out on you over Objectified. It's fantastic.
I really appreciate it. I actually didn't go through Steven Spielberg's stuff. What happened was a realtor called me up he said, hey, you might want to do a story on some listing that I got with a celebrity. And as I was about to hang up, he said, God, he said, Steven Spielberg might be listing his Malibu house, and he had lived there for like 40 years. And this realtor said, I had been through the house, and it's like you feel like you see his life before you because he got all the stuff from Jaws and onward. And I thought, well, that is a way of telling a story, because it's not just sitting on a sofa talking to them, firing questions at them. You divide their life into 7 chapters. Mm-hmm. And it could be, it's going to vary from the chapters vary from person to person, but it's probably going to be childhood is one, success is another, family probably. And, depending on the person, that's what you choose. But in each of the 7 chapters, you have the person find an object that they kept that represents that period in their life. And it opens them up, and they connect to these objects, and they don't have to be expensive objects. I mean, one of them, for one of the people I interviewed, was a rock. And, Tyler, one of the things that really means a lot to him are these Walmart pajamas that his mom gave him that don't even fit, but he cries over it. Sure. And so, it's a way of kind of opening up their life, on their terms. And it just seems to work. It seems to get things out that you normally wouldn't sitting on a sofa.
You're telling a story of these famous people that ordinarily wouldn't be told. And it was really kind of neat to watch you tear up a little bit and get emotional sitting, because Abraham Lincoln is one of your heroes.
Chairs, yeah.
And those Abraham Lincoln chairs, and the two of you sitting, because my first thought was my fat rear end, I'd break the chair. I'm not sitting in the chair, but the two of you sitting there and you getting emotional, and him with the pride that he has of having such an important part of our nation's history. And wow, I mean, just it all does work, and you got to be very, very proud of this concept. Harvey, it seems to me, I know you go on Sean's show a lot. Who's a good friend of mine, and you do some work with Fox News, but kind of an unusual partnership to have a Sunday night show on Fox News Channel, huh?
Well, I mean, look, we have a long-standing relationship with Fox, because TMZ Live are on Fox, and TMZ Sports is on FS1. Sure. So, we have
Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM knows your opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree? Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio.
Hey, it's the Cindy's Choice Show on 92.7 FM and 95.3 FM HD4. You can also catch it on TuneIn Radio. That's an app you can download and catch Nooga Radio anytime, any place, and catch the Cindy's Choice Show every Friday at 11 a.m., usually at 11 a.m. We're getting a little bit of a late start today. We had some technical issues. Which is, I heard that on I was listening to national radio. Clay Posey's here with me, everybody.
Hey, folks.
Thanks, Clay, for joining me.
No,
but this is like what's fun about radio, because I was listening to a national show and they had phone glitches and it's a call-in show. So he's counting on those calls. Right. So of course, he's a national guy. I don't feel too sorry for him, but he's, kind of killing air trying to talk about stuff until these calls can come through, so it's just part of what makes radio fun and makes live radio that much more fun. But also not just 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4, TuneIn Radio, Shoutcast. We're live streaming on Facebook. And thank you for joining us on Facebook. Live streaming on YouTube as well. Hello, YouTube. Oh, the camera's there.
It is, yeah.
I'm looking over there because that's where I can see us. So I can see me and my good buddy, Clay. I was so excited to have Clay on with me because Clay's a good friend. He's a good advisor and a good friend. And this is my radio time is social time to me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't think of it as work. I look forward to coming because I get to have a great conversation with a really great community leader or a great friend or, people that have good information for the community. And it's just a lot of fun. I feel very blessed to have this platform and utilize it that way. And I'm Cindy, by the way. I am the Cindy of Cindy's Choice. And it is my choice. It is Cindy's choice to make a positive impact in our community. It's my absolute passion to support community initiatives with a special focus on cultivating community collaboration and social capital for small businesses in the community. And that's something Clay is going to help me talk about today. But first, a quick shout out to Chicken Salad Chick.
Yeah.
We love Chicken Salad Chick. And I had so much fun with Josh Patton yesterday, the owner of 3 franchise locations here in Tennessee. Josh Patton actually opened up the first Tennessee franchise here in Chattanooga, the downtown location. And we set up yesterday at the Grateful Gobbler. Over 4,000 people registered, and that was all contributions that go to feed the homeless. And Josh and I handed out chicken salad chicks and chicken salad chick sandwiches. And everybody was so pleased that it was definitely well received. And people were very thankful on Thanksgiving for the chicken salad chick after their 5K.
Well, I hadn't got to meet Josh yet.
Oh,
Cindy,
my goodness.
but
we got to fix that.
Well, that's okay. I enjoy the product of his efforts. But, he's one of these guys that he has figured it out as far as giving it away.
Yes.
That will earn you more credibility, earn you more business than any advertising that you can do.
And that's part of Chicken Salad Chick's philosophy. They only want to attract franchise owners that have a servant heart. And of course, that's what Cindy's Choice is.
Right.
I gather businesses that complement each other and have the same target audience, but they also have a servant's heart because that's part of how we complement each other. And together, it's not just about saving them with shared marketing, saving money for them with shared marketing, but we can do so much more together. Well, Josh has just added another giver so he can give more.
Right.
He can't get away to go give. So he's got me to go give for him.
Exactly.
I love that. It just works. Collaboration, everybody. Community collaboration. That's what we're put here for, because what we're talking about is relationships. Collaboration is relationships working together. And that is exactly what we're put here for. It applies personal, it applies business, it applies to every aspect of our lives. Healthy relationships, collaboration is centric to all that. And oh my gosh, I see a rabbit trail coming, and I'm thinking, do I resist this trail, baby? Because it just makes me think, and I know you're a patriot like I am.
Yeah.
And it just makes me think about our country, because if there's ever a time we need collaboration, we need unity. This is it. And I say that I love history, and I know I watched that. Can't think of the name of the movie, but based on a true story of Mississippi McConaughey. I can't think now, but it was revolutionizing with the slaves and so forth like that. And there's always been huge battles and huge division and huge struggles. But we have to deal with it. And there's those heroes. There's those heroes that step up and help and make a difference. And not only that's what I'm out to be. I want to be a hero. That's what I want to do. And I want to help others to be heroes, and I want to honor heroes. And that you can be a hero by collaborating.
Yeah. Well, Cindy, what I see, and again, with the huge divides that are in our country right now, is when we have those divides, it's because we tend to be focused on ourselves, our own agenda, what we want for us. But when we can get that third party focus in there, when we can get to the place that we're thinking about what someone else's needs, what someone else needs, all of that fades into the background. So you see people like the Grateful Gobbler that you were involved in yesterday. Yeah, people, they got all kinds of political opinions out there. They're on all different sides of fences and wear different badges as far as that goes. But everybody came together because there was a problem to be solved.
Yes. And wow, I'm sure it was a record-breaking year, and it's so awesome to see. And they keep doing that. They've been doing that for 18 years. So look what happens. The more you build, the better it is for everyone. And we got off on this tangent because we were talking about Josh Patton. I'm going to slow down right now. We're talking about Josh Patton, who's the owner of Chicken Salad Chick, the 3 franchises of Chicken Salad Chick here. And that's what got us off on this. He's a business hero in that he does give back. I get to go deliver leftovers because they make the food fresh. I am delivering leftovers to the homeless and to Ronald McDonald House and all kinds of things all the time on his behalf, not just to mention he gives his time. He was there with me yesterday giving his time. And so just keep Chicken Salad Chick in mind. 12 awesome recipes. Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com. Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com. The Gun Barrel location, the downtown location, and of course the Erlanger Mall location as well. But something you were just saying, Clay, about people like learning not to put themselves first. And I wrote down fear really quick.
Yeah.
Because here's where we get into heroes. Because most people are motivated by fear, that emotion of fear, and they think they have to put themselves first. It's not that they're bad people or that they're necessarily selfish people. Which it is selfish, but you know what I'm saying? They're not intending to be that focused. But our society gears you to think you got to put yourself first. But that is fear-based. And that's what being a hero, having courage is all about. That to be a hero, it's about character and courage to me. There's more principles to it. Bill Raines and I talked about it on the show last week. But if you're going to have good character, it is going to be tested. So you've got to have that courage to stand up every time it gets tested. And that's where you overcome fear with courage. And of course, that stems down to faith, and we can get off on 5 different rabbit trails there. But you're right. That is when people learn to really, truly put others first and focus on the difference you can make, find a purpose and focus on that purpose, then everything else, it falls together.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I saw that, and you may or may not know this about me, Cindy, but my very first career, I was in law enforcement.
I remember that. Yes, that's why when I said that, I hit you on the shoulder because I know you know what a hero is.
It's not that.
You're a hero in my eyes. So,
but it's that the courage really comes out of. I mean, you're terrified. I can tell you when you're sitting up against a concrete wall and there are bullets hitting that wall and you feel that stuff falling down on your head.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that tells you that they're not scared is not telling you the truth. But you just learn to function anyway.
Exactly.
And that's focusing on that third thing. And it's funny, ServPro, my current employer, when you go into the training facility there, the ServPro, these double doors that you have come in, it says hero ready. And
I love that.
And that's the attitude that we try to put into our employees. I mean, we just got back from being down in Houston with our teams that we sent down there have actually been back less than a month. And we had guys who were down there, they missed anniversaries, they missed birthdays, they missed kids' ball games, but they had a job to do. And they were down there working to help people get back on their feet.
And they are heroes. And that's why I have first responders on. That's why I have Michelle Herron from Channel 3. Mm-hmm. That a news person, you don't think about that, a weather person, they are heroes. They leave their families on the holidays and in bad weather or when bad things are happening and go to the front lines, just the way the first responders do and just the way our veterans, our armed forces do. And like, you're right, that's I'm glad they recognize that that's very heroic. The linesmen, the people that are out working on our power lines and so forth like that. We don't think about those people, but they are making a sacrifice for all of us. And yeah, there's a paycheck involved, but there's, that's a hard motivation when you have to make such a sacrifice.
Well, I can tell you the paycheck for being in law enforcement, the paycheck for being a firefighter, the paycheck for being a teacher. Those folks all work second jobs.
Exactly.
Because they're not doing it for the money.
Exactly. There is a sense of honor there, a sense of duty that's very respectable. And I wrote down the word terrified because I've used that word a lot lately, and I've started a lot of things. And I'm a starter. I can start things really quick. But this is my first time to ever start something way bigger than me, to make a bigger difference. And I've been sharing, I just would have never have gotten this far if I didn't learn to recognize when I am absolutely terrified and I'm still focused on that vision and on that knowing of my purpose so that I can face that fear and push forward. And I'm so grateful. And so I would not be this far if I didn't know and understand how to face that fear.
Yeah. And that's it. It's not that you're not afraid. It's just that you're afraid and you just do it anyway.
Exactly. I call it, you do it scared. Just do it scared. But no, that's awesome. And I just love having you on because we're both have some similar, we have some shared projects coming up, and then some things I want to include you in and some things you want to include me in. So let's go ahead and talk about the coat drive for the homeless that ServPro is initiating. And Clay, what is your role with ServPro?
I'm Director of Business Development.
He's Director of Business Development at ServPro, and Cindy's Choice is teaming up with ServPro to help provide coats for homeless folks.
And that's for, I mean, it's for coats, it's for blankets, it's for sleeping bags. You have people who are sleeping out there on the street, and, you know, this morning there's frost on the ground everywhere. And there's some folks that are out there sleeping in that. They don't have a warm bed to go home to at night. And some of those folks are veterans. They're heroes. They're the folks that ran toward the sound of gunfire at one time in their life. And now they're on the street because they're having a hard time getting back integrated into society when they come back here from having served our country very, very selflessly. Some of those folks are families that they just had a couple of bad decisions, you know, there's, or just bad luck.
Right. And I just want to say to our listener, if you're listening right now and you're thinking in your mind, which many of us do, I've been there, that, well, they choose to be there. Well, they've made decisions because they won't make improvements in their life to be there. And I just want to let you know that is a blanket thought. That is not true. Speaking from my own experience, I share on here when it seems appropriate. Like right now, I was homeless on the streets 2 years ago. You know, I thank God I had my truck to sleep in, but I was still in very precarious situations. And I know what it's like, and I know who's out there. And I know I'm a very capable person that did not choose to be there. I just have the right perspective, and that I've found great purpose in it, so that I can better serve and help other people now. And there's a lot of people there that just need a hand up. And we kind of have to give them handouts until we figure out how to give them hand ups, is how I look at it, because I'm not big on handouts. It doesn't help people, but handouts are necessary until you can figure, every story is different. Every person is different. And mine was very different. People did not understand how to help me. There aren't organizations out there. I'm not an addict. I just had a health issue. So you can't go into programs if you have a health issue and you can't keep up with their protocol.
Right.
I didn't have young children, so I didn't qualify for family programs. And I've literally bootstrapped it off the streets on my own. And that's now I'm looking for people like me out there. And I have a full understanding of people out there that did not choose to be there, but there's not a program for them to help them get off, because it's a process. It's not like something you just do automatically. You don't just get a job and get off the streets.
Right.
It's a process.
Well, I know as an employer, you know, if somebody doesn't have a permanent address, it's real hard for them to be able to integrate into a workplace. It's hard for them to come to an interview. They don't have appropriate clothes. They can't go take a shower. They can't find some clean water to brush their teeth. You
still have to kind of get back on your feet physically, and there's some PTSD involved there.
Yep.
It's kind of a little bit of a traumatic experience to you. It's just like coming back from the wars and trying to acclimate here, but you've been in your own little battle on the streets, and you've got to acclimate to real life again.
Well, it is PTSD, and you know, there's statistics floating around there that most of the people in this country are 90 days away from being homeless.
Oh, yes.
You miss 3 mortgage payments and you're done.
I've been told that I'm a reformed people pleaser. I don't like making people uncomfortable. And sometimes I talk about homelessness and they get uncomfortable. But the people that work with homeless people say, Cindy, that's because they see you and they see how close that they are to homelessness. Because there's a lot of people like me that you just would never know how close they are. And while this part of the first half of the show was shortened up a little bit because we had some technical issues getting started, but Clay is going to hang with me for the second half, and we're going to come back and talk more about the coat drive for the homeless that ServPro and Cindy's Choice are teaming up on. We're also going to talk about the Summer Cares promotion, and Cindy's Choice will be doing a live remote. Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. We will do a live remote from the community kitchen on the 15th. And there's Summer Cares is gathering the smaller items that can fit in a shoebox, while ServPro is focused on the blankets and the coats and so forth.
Exactly.
And we'll talk about that when we come back from the break. And Clay Posey with ServPro is going to join me for that. We'll take about a 3-minute break. And again, you are listening to the Cindy's Choice Show, 92.7 FM. We'll be back.
You'll stick around.
The Tennessee Valley's news,